Hey everyone, so today we're going to be talking about the case of a missing girl. She has been missing for 37 years now, still unsolved, and it's pretty heartbreaking because the cases with children usually are like the hardest for me to film. Her name is Anthonette Cayedito. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. All the links that I used to research will be down below. I do want to say that I don't have a whole lot of information. I have about as much as I usually do for cases, so I do apologize. But I still wanted to talk about her, so let's go ahead and jump into Anthonette Cayedito. So Anthonette Christine Cayedito was only 9 years old when she disappeared from her home in Gallup, New Mexico 37 years ago. Since then, her mother Penny has died without knowing what ever happened to her daughter. On April 6th, 1986 is when our story takes place. Penny woke up and she was surprised that Anthonette was not in the house. And so this is actually a quote from Penny. And she says, "We went looking for her around the house and nothing. I didn't start panicking until we checked with all the neighbors, went to every house, and nobody had seen her." End quote. So the family, the neighbors, and the police would search the surrounding foothills, and they found no trace of her. Police were almost certain that she had been kidnapped, and months and weeks would just fly by. And then it was a year later when hope was really fading for them, that there was a really dramatic call for help that came into the Gallup Police Department. So the person claimed to be Anthonette, and the dispatcher asked where she was, but before the little girl could answer, the call was abruptly ended by an unidentified man. The call was played for Penny, and this is a quote from Penny again, and it is so, so sad. She says, quote, "I listened to that tape over and over and over. And just by the way she says her last name and the way she screamed sent chills all over my body. And mother knows, and I know that was her." End quote. Imagine being Penny and just, you know your child's voice, you know your child's mannerisms, the way they speak, the way they act. And you get played this tape of your daughter potentially being held captive. And you listen to it and you just know that it's them. And you don't know where they are because you didn't get a location, but you know they're with someone bad. You heard them scream. Imagine how that has to feel. That broke my heart, especially that last bit. A mother knows, and I know that was her. That quote alone sent chills over my body. I can't imagine actually being Penny and hearing that phone call. So the call actually renewed hope for her return, but another 4 years would pass without any further clues. So the FBI would release 2 age progression photos of what she may look like at 14, and 4 months later, according to Agent Kevin Miller, uh, Kevin Miles, I'm sorry, from the FBI, there was a possible sighting of her reported in Carson City, Nevada. So a waitress um, told the police about how she waited a table, which at this table sat an unkempt male and female and a small girl about 14 or 15. The girl would deliberately drop a utensil on the floor, and when she put it back on the table, the girl grabbed her hand. So the waitress said she thought nothing of it, went about her business, kept doing her job. After the trio left, she went back to dust the table, and beneath the plate that the girl had, there was a napkin, and on that napkin was written, "Please help me, call the police." And that is when she realized that this girl was obviously in trouble. But when she, went to phone the police, went to do something about it, they were already gone. They were already long gone. And this part also kind of upset me. Like, I know you have a job to do, but like if I notice a child deliberately dropping their utensils, grabbing your hand when you hand it back to them, something would feel off. Like, I can't imagine just letting the child leave with them. I mean, maybe there was nothing he could do, but I can't imagine just that happening and not thinking anything about it. But I'm sure after she saw the note, the waitress really did feel guilty, but like, it kind of upset me. Like, I feel like deliberately doing that, that's kind of like a sign that something is wrong. I don't feel like 14 and 15-year-olds just do that for attention. I don't know about y'all, but I can't see that. Um, and I actually saw in a couple of articles that Penny would actually tap into her Navajo roots. So the family was Navajo, and she tapped into some medicine women in her community that kind of like had like I guess like visions or psychic abilities, and they said that they claimed to have spoken to a spirit and said that she was still alive, that Anthonette was still alive, and that she was being held somewhere. And so Penny was kind of going off this hope that Anthonette was in fact still alive, but she was out there somewhere being held hostage, was kind of been the thought process so far. But she kind of felt a little bit better knowing that her daughter wasn't dead. At least that is what she felt like from this like medicine woman kind of told her. But that is all I have. That is really all that they have about this case. There have been no clues, no suspects, no people of interest, no more clues. It has been 37 years. Penny has since died, which is just so sad. Knowing that you died without knowing what actually happened to your daughter. And if Anthonette is still alive today, she would actually be in her 40s. So she was 9 when she went missing, and she would now be in her 40s, her late 40s. I really hope that she's still alive and she's out there somewhere. I can't imagine the horrifying events that she's probably lived through. I mean, she was old enough to understand that this wasn't her family. She was taken, being held captive. I can't imagine what she would have had to go through, but I do hope that she's still out there somewhere. I hope she has a better life if she is, and I hope maybe one day she can reconnect with some family, even though she can't reconnect with her mom. But I hope that she is okay. I don't want to believe that she's dead. Penny never quite believed that she was, so I'm gonna trust Penny and say that her daughter isn't dead either. So I hope that those psychics were right. And I still my mind keeps going back to that phone call. The little girl screaming, saying, "Please help me." Like obviously, if both of these instances were Anthonette, she was obviously scared. She kept reaching out, asking for help. Like that is heartbreaking. Like I can't imagine asking for help and then just not getting it both times. And if those were not her, that is terrifying to know that there are other children out there that they don't know about. But that is what I have for you guys on Anthonette Cayedito. I highly suggest y'all look into her case more for yourselves and just read about her and all that. I will have her age progression photos on the screen. Um, I don't have a phone number for you to call. I'm not even sure if this case is even still open. I didn't see anything about it. I didn't see a phone number. So I'm sorry about that. But I will throw up the age progression photos anyways. Maybe you've seen her in the past. I don't know. But I still want to talk about her case because she was a little girl that was taken from her family and she should have still been with them. So what do you guys think below? I'm going to turn this over to you guys. Like I've been saying in my other videos, please be respectful down below. Sometimes family members will stumble across these videos and I don't want them to be met with disrespect or anything like that. So please just be kind when you are speaking about it. But what do you guys think happened? Personally, I think both of those instances could have been Anthonette. The waitress, I didn't see a description of like what she said the girl looked like, just that she was about 14 or 15. But I think it could be very possible, but both of those times were in fact Anthonette, and that it is a good chance that she is still alive. But what do you think? Do you think she's dead? Do you think maybe those psychics weren't actually psychic? Do you think these were different girls? Like, what do you think down below? As always, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for listening to Anthonette's story, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.